And we are live here on a video conference call, I would say. Um, Ladies and gentlemen, there is a situation in Midland where a local tortilla factory slash restaurant was basically raided by ICE. And I don't think everything is as it seems. We have somebody on the phone right now. We're not going to disclose her information. But ma'am, when did you first hear about this raid in Midland?
The same day it happened.
Was
Uh,
this
Feb- February, I don't know. I don't even remember the day. It was the Friday. Last Friday.
and let me ask you this, were you surprised when you heard about the raid?
Yes, I was because I don't think it's common for ICE just to hit a business like that.
Yeah. Um, okay, so they're saying that this was probably under investigation for a while. They're even saying that I was one that called ICE, and they're making up a lot of lies. So, how do you know about this place? Can you give a little bit of background as to who you are without, saying too much about yourself?
I work at a local bar and things people do talk and there's a lot of stuff out there. And I guess the person that might not much. So the gentleman, the owner of the store, he was cheating on his wife with one of the employees, the younger girls, and the wife called, and she wanted the girl to be taken out of the picture. But it ended up, whole raid.
So, you're actually claiming that this man was having an affair with one of the immigrants that was working there. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
And
And no,
go ahead.
yes.
Go ahead.
And the wife wasn't okay with it, so she wanted to see how she got the girl out of the picture, so she tipped iced on it, and that gave him the authority to just go into the whole, the tortilla and just take over.
And let me ask you, when you heard this theory, because I had heard a while back too, or when it was happening, it was a local competition, and then I started hearing rumors that it was their own employee, and then I saw somebody say, many people say that it was the wife that called ICE. When you heard this, did you believe this to be true? How do you know this could be, actually correct?
Because more than one person has the same story at the bar. And I mean, I don't think that they all know each other and they would come in with the same story.
So let me ask you this: do you know who the owner is?
Yeah, I've heard of him quite a few times. I never met him in person, but I heard of him quite a few times.
And from hearing about him, what do you think? Do you think that he's capable of doing something like this to his wife, having an affair, and with the kitchen help, I guess?
Um, I mean, I don't know him personally, but by the things that people say, yes.
So you get this news, right? And you hear that it's his wife that did this. What was actually the situation? What did they tell you that happened? Like she just heard about it, she caught him. What happened here?
She found out that he was having an affair with one of the employees and she wanted to get the employee out of the picture. So she tipped the ice so they could, get get the employee out of the picture. But once you give them that one tip, they already know there's multiple people in there with no papers. So they just went ahead and raided the place.
And when you heard that information about him, cheating, did that surprise you at all?
Well, yeah, surprises everybody when stuff like that happens because, you're basically the wife wanted to hurt one person, but she ended up hurting a lot of people.
Wow, interesting. Um, so they rate him, right? And I'll say there's a certain age. I don't know if you want to say the age, but I verified it because the person that gave me your information said that the age of this person, and I looked up the actual record of who got arrested, and that age is on the paperwork. So you know what I'm saying? It's kind of another coincidence. I would say that that age that they told me the person was, she's actually listed in the paperwork as to being one of the person that was rated. She was pretty young, right?
Yeah, she was very young. She was a Mexican employee,
And this older man, do you know how old he is?
but he's up there.
I'm gonna ask you another question, and this, we can keep it real. Do you see this kind of stuff happening, or are you aware of it? Of these, older men that do this kind of stuff?
Oh yeah, it happens all the time.
Well, I would say even with them hiring them from Mexico or from any other country, right? Like I kind of feel like they take advantage of them because they're here, with no papers. Do you think that's kind of common?
Yeah, they take advantage of the immigrants. And they also exploit them with work just because they don't have the right paperwork, so they can't really do much about it. And well, I'm not an immigrant, but I've worked and I have friends that are immigrants, and sometimes you're scared, so you allow things to happen just so you could be safe.
Wow. Do you think this guy can kind of could he kind of be categorized as kind of a someone that kind of preys on the weak or preys on women, or do you think this was more just natural kind of a natural situation? What do you think about that? You knowing who he
It's a
is?
natural situation nowadays.
Wow. So you heard it happened. What do you think about them now? They want to actually protest for this guy, and I believe he has a GoFundMe. What do you think about that? Do you think that he's deserving of getting the help and support of the community?
And no, I think he's just trying to scam people.
Why do you think that?
Well, because he knows what he was doing wrong. Why should people have to help him for his mistakes?
I mean,
And he's just giving out a lie. He's giving out his side of the story. But I mean, nobody's going to go out there and be like, oh, yeah, I had an affair on my wife and this is what happened.
And it kind of makes sense because again they're saying that I was calling ICE, which anybody can call ICE. They have a tip line, but in order for them to really investigate or to rate somebody, they have to have really good probable cause. And I would say a woman scorned, right, his wife getting cheated on. I think her tip would be pretty valid. What do you think about that?
Yeah, well, as women, when we're hurt, when we get hurt, we find the weakest. The men's weakest spot to see where we could hurt them worse than what they're hurting us.
Do you what do you think about someone cheating on their wife like that, especially building a company like that? Do you think that's pretty sorry? I think it is.
I think that's very sorry of him because I'm sure that she's been there from day one where he had nothing and they build up everything together and he has to go and do this to her.
So let me ask you: there's reports of protests and all this. Will you be there? Will you be supporting any of these protests for this place at all?
No, not at all. That's,
What do you? And someone had made a comment saying that are they protesting for the cheater or who are they protesting for? So what do you think the protest is really for? Do you think you think why would they even protest? Right? What do you think?
I don't think this should be a protest. I think if they were to protest, this should be against, about the immigrants, about all the stuff that's going on with the immigrants at the moment. I don't think it's fair. If we're gonna fight, we should fight for that, but not fight, for this guy that he's just I messed up in life.
And I don't want to give up too much your information about the person that is really close to him, but you had somebody else, right, that's pretty close to him that does services for him, correct?
Sure. Yes, and he was one of the people that he's one of my clients, and he did say, what was we? He's like, oh, we're really happy there because we were all scared from, everybody's scared right now because of what's going on. And he's like, y'all shouldn't be scared because this is what's really going on there. He cheated on his wife, and his wife tipped out ice.
So you had him, right? And I don't want to give up what he does for that man because if I say what he does for him, they will know who it is. But he told you this, and multiple other people that go to see you, they told you the same story, correct? That's how it all makes sense.
Yes, it
And
can be so many people with the same story.
yeah, I agree. I mean, if one person tells you that's one thing, but it's more than one, and it aligns, with the same story, you have to kind of somewhat believe it, I would guess. And I've been hearing rumors of this, and I would say I believe it's true. You believe it's true?
I believe it's 100% true. Like I said, he's an older man. And I feel like men these days have no respect for themselves. The older they get, the nastier they are. Because I worked in places where my boss has, and try to take advantage or whatever, and I've had to put a stop to it and walk out.
And then even worse, right? Like you said, if they're an immigrant or undocumented, they're in there, right, trying to make some money, trying to make a decent living, and then they have an old pervert, kind of harassing them, and like you said, they don't know what to do, right? They're afraid. You know what I'm saying? They probably
So,
feel,
yeah,
you know.
they feel intimidated. So they do what they got to do just to keep a job and to keep a living for their family.
Now you didn't hear no words of him just like putting himself on her. It was an actual affair. The girl was cooperative in this relationship,
And that's what I heard. Yeah, that was an actual affair that he was having.
and the wife found out and called ICE. Do you know exactly when she called ICE? Do you have any information on that?
That I don't know.
Okay.
I just know she's the one that tipped them off.
Okay. All right. Any final words you want to tell anybody that's listening right now? Just, you can, the floor is yours. Say what you want. Thank you.
No, just girls, don't be scared to talk or walk away. And do what you gotta do at the right time versus letting it all get to this. Because not only the people having the affair got hurt, but a lot of other families got involved in it too.
Very sad. All right. Well,
Yes.
thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you. Have a great day.
Okay.